this one. Could we finally see a reformed Gerg? Elon Musk Trump's attack Doge. I'll tell you this. I haven't watched any of the video, but I did skim some of the comments. It is not looking good for the comments section, but it's because I seem to be detecting lots of right-wing particles, and I can't believe that the conspiracy theories drew in right-wingers into his audience. It's so weird. I feel like you've not been paying attention to America politics. You make baseless claims about Trump and Elon, which in fact were the exact things the deep state and Biden administration were ramping up for in Kamala's administration. Fucking Jesus Christ. Anyway, his comments are all over like that. So, is he saved? Reformed? Let's see.
Elon Musk is out of control.
Agreed.
He is participating in an illegal coup to take over the federal government, and he is ushering in a beast system. Elon has a plan to
a beast system? I don't know what that means.
Retrofit the American government's digital systems into AI programs, which will set a precedent that the world will never be able to reverse.
So at the beginning, Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency,
or Doge.
Doge? What is Doge going to do?
Seemed to have ended up with a fairly narrow mandate. You can look at the Trump executive order creating it, and it says, the purpose is modernizing federal technology and software to maximize governmental efficiency and productivity. In the last couple of weeks, it's become clear that Musk's role is a whole lot larger than that.
I think Elon's about to open...
We're going to have to undo a lot of shit.
Pandora's box here. In my experience working for government, unelected officials have the most power. And they have the most out-of-control egos. Elected politicians are the ones that usually make all the decisions, but it's the unelected officials that push their weight around to get things done. Unelected officials have just as much incentive to join the government as the elected ones. While there, they can connect all of their own personal businesses and investments into any of the projects they operate. And unlike elected officials, unelected officials don't always have to worry about losing their job every 4 years. Some of them keep their positions for decades. The second that Trump elected Elon as the head of efficiency, a wild Doge was unleashed on the government. And
it's Doge.
This allowed for, clearly,
elected is a weird one, but it's fine.
A hostile takeover of federal operations.
I agree.
I can't believe that Elon has been able to do this without being stopped by law enforcement. Someone's going to get arrested over this, right? Elon is in the
No. No one's going to be arrested. It'll take a new administration entirely to overhaul any sort of systems we have for this to be corrected at this point. It's fucked. We live in it's a fascist government. It has been in ebbs and flows for a long time, and we're just going to have to do it all over again. It's like literally, it's a bad thing. We are being destabilized by people who don't want a stable America, and it's a lot of things pushing in that direction. But ultimately, it's the billionaire class and fascists, like white nationalists, and they're all sort of like pushing in the same direction.
Process of taking over the money after hijacking the Treasury Department. He's taking control of the personal data of all of the federal employees as well as citizens. He's already collected everybody's information.
Now, don't think that people aren't fighting back against this insanity. There's a judge already blocking, Trump's trying to fire in Musk. They're trying to fire tons of federal employees. They're trying to get rid of the CIA, trying to get rid of the FBI. They're trying to basically weaken our national security, access our data. And
it's like just trying to get rid of the FBI and the CIA, and these people in these positions don't look at their position of power and go, it's our job to stop this from happening at all. It seems to me that the people ought to be given the military. I think the people ought to be in charge of the violence, and we'll see what happens. I still do not understand why the 1% wants to destroy America other than boredom. Oh, I mean, that's a multifaceted question. I mean, some of them truly don't believe that they're doing that, right? Some of them just are buffoons that think that because they have billions of dollars, they must be the smartest person ever or something, and they really don't think that they're doing bad things. A lot of them don't care they're doing bad things. A lot of them think that bad things need to be done in order to have good things later. And I mean, a lot of them don't understand what it is to struggle. They think they genuinely don't understand. It's a situation where they might as well be different species altogether. They're dragons. They don't need to exist. Billionaires, there's no function to having a billionaire. The only thing that they are doing is becoming kings, and these fucking tech bros are just like signing up to be liege to them, like to pledge their fealty. It's so fucking strange. I refuse. I mean, I don't think any American should fucking, any person in general should be like, oh yes, please rule me. Like fucking why? Why do you get to eat dicks?
In unsecured ways.
And Elon is headed to the Pentagon next. Likely he's going to want to take control of military contracts.
Now I guess they're going to go after the Education Department and the Pentagon. I mentioned that before, guys, where I think Musk is after essentially contracts, right? Which we already knew this, but the biggest contracts is military contracts. And so I think he's going to try to build his Skynet drone army kind of thing, for real.
I've been trying to avoid making a video about Elon.
I agree.
On for a really long time. I get absolutely no enjoyment out of talking about him. I can't stand Elon. And there are so many other creators on YouTube that do such a great job of breaking down all of Elon's lies and his frauds. But you know, I have this series about transhumanism and AI that I've been doing, and I was thinking, hey, now would be a great time to talk about him. But I had no idea what I was going to get into. I didn't know any of this was going to happen when I started writing this script. Holy it's like this is what everybody's been warning was going to happen all this time. And it's so much worse than we could have imagined. The fascists have taken over. They're deporting all of the brown people. They're taking away all of the women's rights.
He's being based so far, and I love to see it.
It's cold.
When does he lose the plot? Because it's like the thing that we've all been saying. I have been saying, and he has been opposed in the past, and his, we don't like each other because his stupid fucking ex-girlfriend was also like this. The leftist has been right from the beginning. It's the billionaire class who is behind it. It's not just one evil billionaire. It's not just Elon. All of them are in collusion, and all of the people who benefit from the billionaire class, the millionaire class, often a lot of them, but we're talking like CEOs and like people who are prospective billionaires who would like to maybe try to break into that rank are also colluding with it. I mean, it's just like Marx was right in a lot of ways, man, but couldn't foresee a lot of the complexities that come along with a technocracy and all this kinds of stuff. Gerg is going so woke. We'll see, though. In general, we have a bedragglement that has thus far been unseen in the Gerg series, though. He is now disrobed and disheveled and sort of scraggly, and the Satan beard is still happening. I have a hard time believing it's natural. But I'm hoping that he comes out the other side of this vibe. He's kind of got the dude going on, which isn't like a bad thing. I like this better than the green shirt. Yeah, he needs longer nails. He needs a nightgown.
We're not recognizing LGBT anymore, apparently. Unless law enforcement can step in and stop them today, Trump and Elon are going to succeed in bringing in the final Rome. It's over, fam. This is it.
The final Rome?
You may say, judge a person by their successes, not by their failures. But often Elon's successes are really just compromises that he was forced to produce in order to satisfy lofty promises he made in the past. At best, his results usually fall completely short of the expectations that he gave us.
Elon Musk is like promoting he wants this robot-driven world, like the Skynet kind of world. And his followers are all like, oh yeah, let's build that Skynet world. Let's replace all of our jobs. Like, you don't realize you're following this guy who's getting rich off of selling you dreams, and the dream is to take your job. It's like, it's so obvious that they literally say and pump this out stuff all the day, but people don't realize like these people are the villains in the sci-fi movies.
Here's the thing. I think we can have both. There's no reason to make human-looking robots. They're not efficient. We're not like the perfect working machine or whatever. Like, you could do a whole host of different forms and not have to have them be humanoid whatsoever. I don't need human beings to toil in warehouses whatsoever. I don't think we need this. I don't think we need toil at all. But because we live in a capitalist world which forces humans to have jobs in order to pay for their needs, then you run into a problem. Because it's just about reducing labor costs, not about ensuring that humans have an easier time in life and can spend more time in fulfilling things. That's really fucking stupid.
Most of the time, though, he's just straight up lying, trying to sell us on an idea that he hasn't even really fully thought out, or on an idea that he never really fully intended to make good on in the first place. Elon Musk has gotten far too comfortable with promising us the impossible. Solar roof tiles? Where did those go? The first SpaceX rocket that's supposed to reach Mars? That was supposed to happen years ago. The automated underground tunnel system under Los Angeles that's supposed to alleviate traffic?
This is a test route just over a mile long, and this, the end goal. Passengers whizzing along at speeds of up to 155 miles per hour, or 249 kilometers an hour.
This would be the perfect place for Elon Musk to have met his end, and the timeline would be healed. We need to go back. There's lots of spots where you can do it.
Incredible if you could travel around LA, New York, DC, Chicago, Paris, London, anywhere at 150 miles an hour.
Well, now that's just an underground shuttle service for casinos.
Construction on this loop was completed in 2 years for a cost of less than $53 million.
And it's not even automated anymore.
It's designed to handle 4,400 people an hour with 62 cars. Right now, with drivers.
Wow.
He promised us a Tesla Roadster.
That doesn't seem good or useful. Killing it. Thanks, Paul.
That's supposed to have ludicrous range on the road on a single charge.
The new Tesla Roadster will be the fastest production car ever made, period. Base model will do 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds. This will be the first time that any car has broken 2 seconds. It'll be the fastest to 100 miles an hour, 4.2 seconds. It'll do the quarter mile in 8.9 seconds. The range, this is going to have a 200 kilowatt hour battery pack, 620 mile range. That's a 1,000 kilometer range. These are all world records.
Wow. I do think that there is something deeply broken in your system, and this is the system of capitalism. If guys can just regularly lie and get ahead, you know what I mean? Like, if they can just lie, shouldn't be allowed, you know?
Okay. He sent some of his followers into
chat says the robe doesn't work.
Tears over this ridiculous design concept.
This will be the first time an electric vehicle breaks 1,000 kilometers. A production electric vehicle will travel more than 1,000 kilometers in a single charge at highway speed.
But if you do the math on what it would take to hold that electrical charge in order for this car to be able to reach this astronomical range, the battery would have to be larger than the car itself.
606. These numbers sound nutty, but they're real.
But they're real.
But that didn't stop Elon from taking hundreds of down payments from avid fans.
I think if he was wearing, like, different pants, it might work.
Only to immediately end production on the car, keep all of the down payments, and not give any follow-ups or updates on what's going on with production. Just telling people, oh, I don't know what to tell you about the Roadster, but we're gonna give it to you one day. Oh, and this one's my favorite. The Hyperloop. A system of vacuum tubes that was supposed to be able to transport people from like LA to San Francisco in something like 45 minutes. A new form of transportation that was set to rival trains and jets. A concept that Elon Musk convinced dozens of companies, universities, and governments around the world to invest billions of dollars into to research and engineer.
I know that there are various companies that are trying to create the Hyperloop. Honestly, I think it's a lot easier than people think.
The blueprints are pretty complicated.
Whatever happened to that?
I mean, yes, there's math.
Like all fascists, they are failures.
but it's really not that hard.
It still sounds pretty complicated, Elon.
Well, it turns out that Elon Musk only proposed the Hyperloop concept in the first place in order to block California's plans to build a bullet train. That's right, California was going to install high-speed rail and introduce an efficient commuting system, and Elon Musk blocked that by getting everyone to invest in his Hyperloop scam.
Yay.
That's all the Hyperloop ever was. All those years of engineering, testing, the blood, sweat, and tears put into trying to make the Hyperloop come to life, that was all for nothing. It was never supposed to work.
It's really, I swear, it's not that hard.
That's the man who is now running the United States government.
I don't really have any particular love for the United States government. I think it's been a system built on the blood of the less fortunate from the jump. And it's only really been beneficial for white landowning men for 300 years or so. And when finally met with the proper reaction societally to this power imbalance, the right has put everything they've got into propaganda, destabilization, making sure that the kids don't get educated, making sure that the adults are drooling out of their fucking mouths watching cable networks and addicted to fucking painkillers and pills. Like this is like genuinely a takeover that is only going to be solved once there is like mass boomer death through the natural aging process. It's like it cannot be reversed without major societal change, and people do not, in large enough swaths, they are just genuinely not capable of admitting that they're a fucking idiot. There's something about the way that American society has built itself where they are willing to fucking shoot themselves in the face and blame somebody else for it. It's crazy. It seems to be a combination of a lot of things, I guess, but like, you know, besides the white supremacy and all the political things that go into it, like from a psychological perspective, just like a sort of taking for granted stability in like, just because we have the name America, it's just going to stick around. It's just crazy.
Holy f***. And the Hyperloop concept wasn't even a new idea anyways. That was originally proposed in the 1800s as a way to transport goods underground. Elon didn't even sound like he understood how the vacuum tube concept was supposed to work. When he first proposed the idea, Elon described the Hyperloop as a pod traveling through a vacuum tube on an air hockey table.
It's like a tube with an air hockey table.
They obviously eventually changed it to a maglev because that doesn't make any sense. But like, take him at his word and just, Elon, how are you supposed to lift a pod off the ground with air in a vacuum chamber?
It's really, I swear, it's not that hard.
That's how you know this man isn't a visionary. He doesn't even know what he's saying.
How would one breathe from within the pod, you see?
Pressure tube with a pod in it that runs on air bearings, on air skis, with an air compressor on the front that's taking the high pressure air buildup on the nose and pumping it through the air skis.
Elon is not a visionary. He's just one of those powerful rich people that knows how to bully others into making his ideas a reality. This man has no magic. I mean, sure, he's the wealthiest man on earth, and our society tends to value powerful, wealthy business moguls over everyone else and heralds them as social leaders.
Greg. You're so close. You're so close. We can get him. He's right there. He's right there. We just gotta reel him in, chat. We just gotta reel him in. He's gonna be flopping onto the deck anytime now.
And when someone reaches that level of success, I think everyone wants to assume that they achieved that success because they're a genius and a capable visionary that knows how to make things happen. But Elon Musk's wealth is not at all tied to his ability to create products. Elon's wealth is entirely tied to the value of his stocks. Elon is not good at building companies and engineering products. Elon is just really good at using the stock market. He's just really good at building successful stocks. This is why Tesla sucks so much and the cars and the business operations don't work anything like they're supposed to. Elon's companies don't exist because he wants to produce useful products. Elon's companies only exist because they legally have to exist in order to make his stocks valid. A character like this is a perfect...
I didn't know he threw up this corny-ass X symbol all the time.
False prophet for our future, always promising lofty
Wow, he really fell off. I mean, he was like a normal-looking guy for a minute. What happened? Evil?
Luxuries in order to make our lives easier and more comfortable. Always having us look forward at a dream of something that could be, rather than having us focus on the reality that we see. Solving the problems that we have now. Technology theater. Propaganda. That's why the government loves him so much, and that's why they're always giving him so much grant money for his companies, because it makes the whole country look like it's moving into the future. The Hyperloop will always stand as his greatest con, though. The idea never made sense to me right from the very beginning, and there were tons of people that were just calling it out as BS the entire time. Lots of people knew that it was never going to work.
Of course.
But whatever, that's the path of destruction behind Elon Musk. What is he doing today?
Trump advisor Elon Musk raised eyebrows for a gesture some are comparing to a Nazi salute.
What kind of initiative is Elon Musk implementing now that we have to worry about?
Nazi salute.
Somehow this huckster has gained favor with the leader of the United States, President Donald Trump, who appointed him as the head of his own department.
Nazi salute.
And he's now able to operate across the federal government unilaterally with impunity.
A Nazi salute.
I mean, fast forward to today, and Elon Musk is leading a hostile takeover of the federal government. What timeline are we on?
They're tearing down the signs to the USAID agency, and I've been talking about this for a while. Basically, they're going to, well, according to Musk, they're going to turn this to the like Customs and Border Protection or something like that office. My feeling is chances are they're going to try to pass their External Revenue Service and use this office to collect tariff money, right, tax money effectively, to fund their sovereign wealth fund and then funnel that into Musk companies, etc. And then they'll try to build whatever Skynet thing that they want to build. And yes, it really is as crazy as I'm telling you.
An unelected official
yes, it
with
really is as crazy as I'm telling you. It's nice not to disagree with Gerg the whole time, but I really hope he comes away understanding that it's not just these two. It's not just that this is happening right here with this billionaire and this fucking billionaire. It's all billionaires. All of them are bad and unethical, and the system in general, the system of capitalism, has allowed this. And it's stupid. Why is this guy more important than scientists? I disagree that we should place more value on this than on people solving problems.
Prior experience in governing has been given the power to barge into any federal government building at any time, demand total access to everything, to install hard drives and scrape the government databases of all of their information, including personal information of U.S. citizens. I don't think that most people understood that what we're seeing happen today was even possible. True believers that back Trump are trying to justify this by giving examples of government waste that Doge has exposed, like exorbitant spending on luxuries and office expenses that unnecessarily burn up government funds. And because they have these examples, people are trying to say that Elon is simply making good on his promise to cut government spending in his role as the head of government efficiency.
I watched an entire a Republican take the floor in Congress, and he talked about how American capitalism is not sustainable and we need to do a different thing or it's just fucked, right? And, well, that's not what happened. We are still on the same exact path. I wonder if I can find it for you. But essentially he was like, look, this cutting that Elon's going through right now, that is, mostly going for good stuff. Even if you get rid of like some actual waste every once in a while, the problem is that it isn't enough waste. Like this isn't The reason we're in debt is because America borrows money at crazy interest rates that it can't pay back over the long period of time, and because of the infinite growth model of American capitalism, it assumes that we just have to continuously grow forever and ever and ever and ever, or the system collapses, right? Which sounds bad and stupid, and it's like, well, there's only an amount of people that exist, right? And so that's why they're freaking out about the birth rates, because there's not enough people for the boomers who are the ones pushing this. There's not enough people to work for them, so they are trying to scramble to get I found it to get
the speakers announced.
Jesus, trying to scramble to undermine labor. I don't have to play. I watched this whole fucking thing, 41 minutes.
Policy of Janice.
Forgive us as we're getting ourselves organized.
I just want you to listen to him for a second. Just for a second, okay? This guy right here. I don't agree with him in general about his proposed thing, because he's a capitalist through and through. This is a Republican, though. This is their economist on the floor. He's like the guy that does all the numbers. This is David Schweikert.
Texas ended a couple minutes sooner than we expected. For anyone listening, whether it be staff, another member, anyone that actually gives a darn, give me your first 4 minutes. Because the first 4 minutes is I need to explain why we've been joking about it in a dark way. We're in the budget wars. It's about reconciliation. Why is there such angst by some of us? You know, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I chair the Joint Economic Committee, so I'm the idiot with all the economists.
We're going to skip through a little bit.
What's going on that is stressing us? Last night I could barely sleep because I had read report after report after report, and the math was devastating.
February 7th. Just a few days, last week. That's after Elon Musk took over. He goes on, and I can scrub through this. It's not about this, but I mean, like, he has these. Let me see if I can find one of the posters.
And we got to help the public understand the scale of what the hell's going on. 40,000 employees taking early retirement. The salary savings is 1 day of borrowing.
1 day. Okay, watch this.
So let's have a little more fun. Okay, so someone yesterday said, okay, let's get rid of the federal subsidy on tax-exempt bonds for stadiums. Okay, great. We calculate that's about 6 or 7 seconds of borrowing for a year.
So as they strip all the subsidies and stuff that actually help things, all of this subsidy it goes to billionaires. He's against that, of course. I'm fine with it. Even that is a drop in the bucket, because really what it comes down to is their inefficient way of involving medical care, Social Security and stuff in the market instead of just doing single payer. And he has a hard time reconciling that, but he is like, look, Social Security is going to be fucked. I'm not going to get my Social Security. You're not going to get your Social Security. We're going to be boomers, and we're not going to have any medical care because we're going to run out. There's a bubble where we can't get there. And so he's freaking out about his own future because he is going to be the first group of people that are fucked by his decision making. So here's what's coming. He's done nothing. I agree. Yeah. This is the guy. He always sits around and does this.
So we should expect him to scrape all of the government servers because he's trying to find all of the bloated government spending. The problem is that most of the examples of wasted spending that Elon has given us so far are pretty low-hanging fruit. Yeah, there's a couple of examples of individuals committing fraud, but almost everything that the Doge hackers have found about the bloated spending in the government budget could have been found out and discovered in a simple budget breakdown. Whether Doge could find out exactly where the money was going or not is kind of irrelevant. They would still be able to find where the bloated spending was, and they very likely would have found more than enough probable cause to investigate fraud. Like, Elon is not a cop. There's a reason why there's a specific order to the way things are investigated. Because if you're trying to find out something illegal, but you're doing something illegal to find that out, then you just ruined the chance of actually punishing that original illegal activity.
I mean, that seems like a bureaucratic irrelevance at this point.
In his role as the head of government efficiency, Elon could have simply demanded that each department head send him an annual budget spending list broken down. Then the excess spending could have been clearly laid out for everyone to see. It's literally a bureaucracy. That's how they operate. Everything is itemized and recorded. And then the stuff that's not and goes to suspicious places, well, that's the stuff you investigate. But that's not what Elon did. Instead, he and his group of young technicians would show up randomly at different departments, demand entry, demand access to the computer systems without an appointment, without announcing their arrival. They would just demand complete access to everything without even explaining what it was that Elon was doing.
We need heroes.
And when the employees would protest this or try to stop them from hijacking their systems, those employees were just put on leave. Yeah, they basically just sent everybody home that wasn't allowing this to happen, with the implication that they're going to get fired later. It was chaos. On one occasion, Elon and Doge showed up to
This ain't no place for one, though.
one of the government buildings on a Saturday night like a bunch of psychopaths. And when the security wouldn't let them in, because why would the security know that they're allowed to be there on a Saturday night? Elon threatened to call the police on the employees of that building. See, if the whole point is to track down excess spending from the government...
It's crazy that he was threatening police violence. No way! That sounds like a fascist!
Why does it have to be conducted in such a hostile way? Why did Trump and Elon stage this like a coup? It's because what they're saying and what they're doing are not the same thing. Because if what they were saying was true, then they would be conducting themselves with integrity. If all Elon is trying to find out is that there's someone somewhere spending $2,000 on pixie cups, then why did he employ a bunch of young hackers to do this and not a normal experienced IT team?
So this particular person, his name is Edward Korstein. This is from Bloomberg. Musk Doge teen was fired by cybersecurity firm for leaking company secrets. These are the kind of people that Musk is working with. I mean, it should be pretty clear what's going on. Edward Korstein, 19-year-old member of Elon Musk's squad, that's crisscrossing U.S. government agencies, was fired from an internship after he was accused of sharing information with a competitor. This is the same dude that has the Russian connections we talked about with The Wired.
He wanted a bunch of people with him that were too young and too naive to understand that they were doing something bad.
I think they know they're doing something bad, but I don't think they have the wisdom or world experience to know how bad.
He didn't want people that would protest their actions.
These are the people that you want touching all of the government data? Of course not. Right? This is the kind of people that Musk are hiring, but you have to understand, make it really, really clear. Musk is a liar, Musk is a con man, and he's dangerous, and he's essentially got the keys to the kingdom right now. And it's frankly awful, and these people need to be arrested. I don't know what else to say.
I agree, but they're not going to be, because the government is corrupt. They're corrupt. We had our last chance to get this motherfucker out from Trump out from underneath or over top of, I guess, heaving atop America without its consent. But we just couldn't because the liberals are too fucking bunch of failures. They just literally couldn't put it together. They lost to this man fucking twice. Twice.
All think they're rock stars. I mean, why couldn't they just make a simple appointment and announce their arrival so that things would run smoothly? Elon Musk broke into several government buildings with...
We'll see how the midterms go.
...young hackers find out information that could have been discovered in an email. And now he has your personal information, your tax information, even some of your medical information. Clearly, the point of this takeover is not just to control the government budget, though that is part of it because they are starting their external revenue service, and likely all of the money that they make from that is going to get funded into Elon's businesses somehow. Clearly, the point of this is that they want to control all of the information about everyone so that they can weaponize it against you. It gives them control. to know as much as they can know. And Trump's role...
Joke's on you. I can't afford to have medical information.
In this is clear. Trump has been causing absolute chaos across the United States by passing a massive pile of executive orders, enacting endless new initiatives throughout the entire country. Hell, he even started drama over Canada, Mexico, and China over tariffs. Yep. Trump is posturing too many new battles for everyone to fight right now, that everyone is too distracted to deal with Elon's sweeping changes.
It's borderline shock and awe.
They're trying to push everyone out of their job.
From political perspectives.
They want the entire...
eventually, there's going to be, insane... we're not going to say Watergate anymore. You know what I mean? On the other side of this, we're going to talk about this shit.
Old guard
flood the zone, yeah.
Are gone because they're a threat. It's not just the government employees. They're trying to abolish the CIA and the FBI as well. And they're even offering severance packages to anyone willing to quit now.
Yeah, I mean, we all knew stuff like this was going to happen, but the normies didn't. The normies couldn't fucking... They wouldn't listen. They're still not listening, and they're the ones... I mean, normal people are the ones that are getting fucked the most. It's just going to continue to get fucked, and then the material conditions are going to dip, and then they're going to start dying. And then we'll fucking see what happens. It's like a blitzkrieg, yeah.
I don't know. I think it's only 4% of people have taken that. This makes no sense. I mean, unless it's a hostile takeover. Unless it's a coup. Then it makes sense. You know how everyone warned that one day all of that digital information on everyone that's collected by the government could be turned around and used against us? Well, that's what this is. That's right now. Today is that day. This is Skynet taking over. This is Hydra taking over. This is the beginning of the American social credit system. It's not going to look the same as China's, but it's going to operate very similarly.
He's still on the social credit China thing. Well, can't win them all. Wow.
It's not going to get dropped on you all at once, but this is them building the infrastructure. Now they're going to rate you based on your various statistics and create a status for you. Are you useful or are you useless? Now they're going to constantly bait you into getting arrested so that you can get processed by the system. They're going to incentivize you to go to bogus protests just so that they can label you as problematic.
Incentivize you to go to bogus protests? What's the bogus part of the protest? What, man? This sounds like he sounds so defeated. No, still fucking protest. Right back into conspiracy, yeah. They're 1,000,000% using AI and shit to try. But they can't arrest all of us. They literally cannot arrest 350 million people. So they're going to have to arrest 100 million people minimum. If it really got bad, it just is what they just can't do it. It's not possible. They do not have the space. Push comes to shove, there's more of us than there are of them. It is that simple. It is what it is, and it doesn't have to go this way. Greg, on the other hand, is definitely giving up quite quickly. Yeah, fuck that. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's the Canadian in you. Sorry, Canadians.
They're going to want to pump up the slave labor as much as possible because they're broke. So you're going to end up in jail and you're going to end up making their license plates for them. Or they just want...
Your license plates. I mean, it'll be different than the other... It wouldn't be license plates if they were, I mean, you can refuse to work as a prisoner as well. You can get prisoner strikes.
Want you to get arrested so they have an excuse to deport you. And if they really don't like you, then they're going to label you a terrorist so that they can get rid of you. Your value as a human being will now be determined by your statistical identity as a citizen. Are you useful to your community? Do you complain or protest a lot? Are you patriotic? Are you loyal to Trump? These are all qualities that are very important to the sitting president. These are questions that even he asks on his application tests. This is a question that he himself asks to prospect employees. He has made it clear several times that he would be very happy if he could replace everyone with loyalists, or at very least have his own contingency of loyalist soldiers and bureaucrats.
Of course.
With his language, he has tried to and succeeded in creating a massive divide in the American political system. Now he's got people wondering what it means to uphold the Constitution. The point is, why does
fuck the Constitution at this point? I mean, it's clear that it doesn't matter to these people, so it doesn't fucking matter to me. What I mean, the only thing these people are going to respect is their demise, it seems. I don't know why. It's crazy how every picture of Trump is just the most evil shit you've ever seen.
Trump need to know everyone's personal information. I thought he was cool. And why does Trump need total and direct control of all of the government's individual operations? That's like over-the-top power trip 101. They're gonna give you a handful of examples of corruption they've exposed. They'll drop a few crumbs for the true believers to gobble up, but we all know what we're seeing here. This is the end game. If people want to defend this by saying Trump and Elon are simply making good on their promise to end corruption, then why couldn't they conduct themselves with integrity? If the problem was that the government wasn't displaying principles, then why didn't you display principles? Because they knew that what they were doing was wrong. So they had to do it quickly with urgent hostility. Clearly. Oh, and people have also tried to defend this by saying that Elon Musk only has security clearance to access read-only files. But if he was only trying to access read-only files, then why did he need a team of hackers to help him do it? Why did they take over the operations of so many departments and threaten to fire all of the employees? Were those employees distracting you too much? And they're making it impossible for you to read? Were they too loud and you couldn't concentrate on the reading? There's a message that I wanted to attach to this video. I don't really have a clever way to segue into this next subject. It has to do with the Book of Revelations.
Oh
I know,
God.
a bunch of you are leaving now, but stick around. I mean, I've been hinting at this for a long time now, so eventually I had to just come out and say it. Elon Musk and Donald Trump are likely the two people that are going to usher in the beast system.
Well, I guess 23 minutes and 47 seconds is where we jump off. And it's gone. Alrighty. We knew it had to end here. There was no way he was going to stay with us the whole fucking time. The beast system.
And Elon Musk is likely the person that's going to create the mark of the beast, which everyone will be forced to wear. See, Revelation never uses the term Antichrist a single time, but there is a figure in there that everyone considers the Antichrist. There's no single person that comes into power in the end times. It's actually two people, the Antichrist and the false prophet. I mean, there's technically three dragons. The first dragon is Satan. The second dragon is the leader that's known as the Antichrist, the return of Nero. And the third dragon is the false prophet. In Revelation, the Antichrist comes up first as a popular leader. At some point in the story, he loses his place in office.
So, yeah, is he a Christian now? I don't even fucking know. I don't know, dude. He's just like, well, that's what if it was the Antichrist? No, they're just bad people. They're bad men.
But then comes back for 4 more years of service after the people demand that he return. At some point in the story, though, the third beast, the false prophet, rises up next to the Antichrist. The false prophet comes here to promise us a better future. He creates theater in order to imply that the future will be beautiful and prosperous.
So why isn't that Hitler and Goebbels or something? Wait, people said that about them? Oh. And about, I don't know, fucking Muammar Gaddafi and fucking, Pol Pot. They all said it about, everyone's the Antichrist until another Antichrist comes the fuck up. This is just a symptom of there being many fascists.
Waiting for it to sink in. At the end of the story, after they implement their beast system, they're supposed to put an image of the beast in the Holy Temple in Jerusalem, which is...
It feels like back in the day when you're at a party and things are vibing and all of a sudden people start passing around a key bowl and taking off their pants. Whoa. Well, okay.
The third temple, which is not yet
This sounds worse than that.
built, but will probably be built soon. This image of the beast is actually representative of Satan, and he's supposed to be able to be given the power to speak and give orders. So that kind of sounds to me like what they're gonna do is build an AI avatar of somebody important, like Trump, or maybe a fake Jesus or something, and that
fake Jesus AI
machine is going to rule the world as an AI god. That's why I'm nervous about AI, and that's why I started the transhumanism series, is because they're trying to build a body for Satan.
They're gonna build robot Jesus Satan? Robo Jesus Satan that looks like Ronald Reagan. This is fucking lit. This is a lit future. We could kill that.
So everyone knows the mark of the beast as 666. Revelation says it's the number of a man, which is 666. But in the original translation, in the original text, it actually shows the symbol as a giant X. Mark of the beast is a cross or an X. And
put this in the QAnon servers. It might get some of them to pull off, but wow. A swastika looks like an X. We did it. The mark of the beast.
And the mark of the beast is going to be placed on the forehead or the right hand.
Inglorious bastards.
There is no one mark of the beast. Lots of people have created one. On Ash Wednesday, the Catholic Church marks their patrons with a black cross on their forehead or on their right hand. The jihadist militaries of the Middle East also wear a cross, an X, made of swords on their forehead. And Elon Musk marks his companies, some of his products, and even marked one of his children with an X.
Damn. Xylophones, you're on notice. Beginning with an X? I don't know about that. Roman numeral 10? Not sure we can trust that. Pirates marked maps with X's? Holy shit. And that's where the treasure is. Watch out. X-Men. X-rays? Holy shit. They've been doing it the whole time. I knew I couldn't trust my X. Mega Man X? I like Mega Man X too, because you could find the little armor pieces, you know? That was fun.
Elon Musk worships the X. He identifies with the X.
I agree that these people are shitty. Please don't do this magical stuff.
If Elon Musk were somehow put in charge of the digital monetary system, he almost certainly would design the mark that everybody has to have on them as an X.
All right. Greg, I think it's time for you to do what must be done.
The beasts of Revelation are supposed to usher in a new monetary system that forces people to wear something with this mark. There will be crazy wars and poverty, and the final result of all of these conflicts and strives will be to end the use of physical money and replace it with digital currency.
Not money being gone.
Do you know anyone that owns and operates a digital currency? Anyways, if anyone's wondering why my setup's been so bad lately, I'm kind of in a transitionary period right now. I've been going through a bit of a metamorphosis here. I'm like a little caterpillar in its chrysalis, just waiting to transform into a butterfly.
Oh. Is it going to get kookier?
And this is like that uncomfortable stage, you know, when it's kind of just a pile of goo in a sack with no real form. But I'm getting there. I'm getting there, guys. Trust me, we're going somewhere with this. And I want to thank my patrons so much for your support. I love you guys. You're beautiful. Thank you so much. I
gotta see how he finishes this out.
Could not do this without you.
We're in the goo stage.
There's one more thing. The Antichrist is supposed to receive a wound on his head from which he should have died, yet he survived. And this is supposed to happen right before he gets into office for
That's
the
crazy.
final time. Did Donald Trump receive a head wound right before he got into office from which he should have died, yet somehow miraculously survived? Wow. Anyways, I'm sure that it's fine. I'm willing to bet that smarter and more capable people than us are taking care of this for us, so nobody has to worry.
It's a weird slow-mo thing. No one has to worry. Man, what is it with when he bumps right into reality and he's like, fuck this shit, let's go that way. Then he fucking goes to Crazy Town instead. He always ends up back in Crazy Town no matter what. No matter fucking what. I was with him. How come it's always a crazy left turn? This man's against the Hyperloop and he finds himself always sucked back in. The robe is still dope. I'm fine with the robe in general. I don't think he pulled it off. I think he could pull it off. I like it. The robe is whatever. It's too big for him, or he's not in it enough. Also, I disagree that the fucking plaid pants go with it. It's ridiculous. It's the goo robe. It's the Metamorphosis robe. That's okay.